Hello there and welcome. Welcome to eBusiness Mastery Volume 2. This is Paul Bars signing in. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. So do you, but don't be afraid by that. I'm sitting back in my office right now, and I've got a cup of coffee here in front of me. One of my goals with eBusiness Mastery Volume 2 is really just to be able to relax a little bit more with the learning process than what I might normally do. You see, we've got quite a bit of time ahead of us here. There is no need to rush. There is no need to hurry through. I'd like you to be able to revise these at any time. And you can do that just with the audio, or you can do it just with the slides. Simply follow the instructions as they were shown to you. I want to be able to spend a bit more time on each of these presentations than I have done in the past in various seminars and workshops. Because when you're at a seminar or a workshop, well, we are limited a little bit more by, of course, time. Now we're not. I want you to learn what you need to know and learn it in full detail. So let's get straight into it. Click over to the very first slide, a profitable website. Now you'll hear me say some of these things a couple of times. The reason for that is very simple. It's because some things need to be said more than once so that you fully understand them. You see, in learning, I don't believe that hearing something is enough to learn it. I believe that in knowing it in full detail as an absolute fact, enough well to then teach it to others, that's where the learning process begins. Now you've read what's on the screen there. A profitable website is a website that generates more income through online-based inquiries than it costs to run. That is my definition of a profitable website. And, well, really, you won't know how profitable things are until you get them up on the web, until you throw them in front of people, until you actually test them out. You'll certainly have an idea of what you think's going to happen, but you'll never know the real truth until it does. This is the information. Let me just slow down. Hang on. Let me slow down. Okay. Have a quick cup of coffee. Have you got coffee in front of you? I hope you have tea or coffee, glass of water, notepad and pen maybe. The information which I'll be sharing with you throughout this series, I want you to go through it time and time again. I want you to know that the concept is where it all begins, that the design is in the structure of how things should look across all pages, that the marketing that takes place with your website once it's up and running adds to the automation, of course, so that your time isn't involved every single moment. And the profit is what you then get at the end of it. So let's go through, click through to the next slide. You may have seen me present this in one format or another in one of my workshops or seminars, but today, right now, I'm going to spend a little bit more time, as I mentioned, going through them. The objective, number one. This was my objective for creating the eBusiness Mastery website, and the only way I can really share this information with you is to relate it specifically to what I have done. I mean, you're going to get some amazing stories that you'll be able to come back to me and to others with as well. Everything from one crazy person. I remember one crazy person who emailed me and abused me because I had stolen their back button off their website browser. How do you possibly steal a back button off the website browser? They said I'd planted a virus, there was some malicious code and the computer crashed and it unplugged itself from the wall, and then the power board out on the side of the house turned off and all the lights went blank. No, it wasn't quite that bad. But honestly, they said, you've stolen my back button. I'm never coming back to your website ever again. Now, I did email them back and said, I'm curious, how did I do that? And the response that came back to me once I all figured it out was they'd actually clicked a link which opened up in a new window. And what happens when you have a browser open up with a new window? It has no back button. You can't click back. You're going to get some amazing stories that will come through to you. And they will take some of your time away from you, but you'll get to laugh at a few of them from time to time as well. Your objective with any single website should be to create a fully operational online sales platform. Fully operational in all different ways. And number one step is to design or to find a template that is streamlined, it's easy to navigate, and it's not going to take away from the sales process. I'll be covering the second part of this presentation more details on that. But that's a key point. Streamlined, easy to navigate, and absolutely must not detract from the sales process. Next page. Step 2. The automated information. You've got to have it. You've got to have it. You've got to have it. I don't know how else to say it. You've got to have it. You've got to be able to update and install automatic information services into your website. And if you're not going to be doing this yourself personally, you have to make sure that the person who's doing the work for you absolutely does do this. They know about this. They do it for themselves. That's important. They do it for themselves, and they know how to do it for you. Next slide. Step 3 in this process is the search engine work. You really do want to invest the time or invest the money to optimize all of your pages for search engine work. And we're going to have a section in this just on search engines. So you'll know how to do it yourself, or you'll know if you're investing the time and the money, more importantly, to have someone else do this for you, you will know that they're doing it the right way. Because here's the problem. As I've worked as a consultant and even as a webmaster for many different companies, the people who I've been working with, they really had no clue as to whether or not I was or was not doing the right thing by them. Now, part of my training process is I make sure they know what I'm doing and they understand enough to understand. Does that make sense? And if you're investing the time, I've got to say it again, the money, thousands of dollars sometimes, to have someone do your search engine work, you need to understand that. You also need to make sure that there is a minimum submission and monitoring process for at least 3 months, and minimum every 3 months from there on in as well. Next slide, the objective number 2. Once everything's up and running, it is to effectively market and sell via the main website and your affiliate network directly through the internet. So I'm discounting Yellow Pages advertising, stationary advertising, the little stickers on the back of your car. I'm not counting into any of those things. Here was my next step, was to create, design and write captivating sales copy for the main web pages. The captivating sales copy is those words. It's that text. It's that stuff that entices people to buy from you, to contact you, to download your free report. Whatever it is, captivating is the key word here. Absolutely has to be captivating. And amongst other things, again, in this we will cover sales copy because of how important it really is. Next slide, step 5, to create, not to cremate. Let's cremate our promotion material. Matter of fact, let's cremate our affiliates. I need to speak a little bit slower, I think, to create promotion material for the affiliates. Because if you throw out your affiliate links and say, "Hi, Tiger, go get them," your affiliates are not going to generate much income now. I mean, just this month alone, one of my top affiliates is going to be taking home over $3,000. Not bad for a single promotion, which he did through joint venture marketing. And of course, guess what's also in this series? Joint venture marketing and nothing else but. Each of these I'll be looking to expand on upon the way. So don't cremate your affiliates. Instead, create some promotional material for them. Next slide, step 6. To set up and create and run joint ventures with other top websites. Now, joint ventures are where you specifically go out and get them. This is part of the marketing progress. Look at the objective there, number 2, to effectively market and to sell via the internet. To effectively do it. And joint venture marketing is without doubt one of the most effective ways. If not, I think, in my opinion, possibly the most effective way to do this. So we want to be able to create and run joint ventures with other websites. We need to have these things in mind before we begin the website. So let's go through the next slide and get into the nitty-gritty. Make notes of these points. The design. Okay. You've heard it before that when we should meet a person, shake their hand, how long do you have before they've made that initial first impression? 10 seconds, 15 seconds, somewhere thereabouts. I'd like to say that online it is 10 seconds, even perhaps, I read this one time, 8 seconds. That the sale is made or broken in the first 8 seconds. Now, how can that be done? Well, there are a number of different things, but let's just look at, first of all, the download time. The new main page, your page has to be fast loading. 8 seconds is the maximum on a 56K modem. That's how long you've got for your page to download. Now, if you're in a high-speed, ADSL super gigabyte, we can take you to Saturn type of thing, well, you're not going to know whether it does or not. So get a friend to do it. Get someone to check it out. Tell me how long this loads, please. And as you're going through your development, get them to come back from time to time. Now, for myself, I'm on a very fast, slow dial-up connection. That's as I'm recording this. Hey, big news. If you've been with me for a while with my training, you'll know that that's just a thorn in my side. Where I live, I cannot get it any faster until 4 weeks' time. In 4 weeks' time, I can get it faster. Oh, boy, am I looking forward to that. But for the moment, it's still a slow connection. And I mean, particularly for those of us here in Australia, the high speed is not available everywhere yet, is it? So make sure that your customers can see what they want to see within a reasonable time frame. Next slide, a couple more points here on the design. The navigation links. Now, my note here is they must be easily accessible and be maintained as a constant throughout the site. What the heck does that mean? Very simply this. There are only 2 different places you should have navigation links. That is, number 1, preference on the left-hand column. Home, order, information, frequently asked questions, contact, links, whatever it is, down that left-hand side. I'll show you shortly exactly what I had for eBusiness Mastery. Use this to model. This is a great model. I'll show you both mini sites and mega sites, the portal sites as well. Wherever you've got your order and your contact pages, please be sure to make sure that you have that link in the same place on every page. Hey, please be sure you've actually got your order and your contact information. I recorded a seminar just this week for my newsletter talking about the biggest mistakes that people make with their corporate websites. And one of them was how difficult it is to contact these people. I mean, give me a break. If you're a customer and you're coming to somebody's website, you want to be able to contact them, don't you? Just think for a moment now. Have you ever been to a website, thought you'd like to contact or even possibly order something from these people and you couldn't do it? I know I have. More than once. Please, it's a simple mistake that many people make that you don't have to. Next slide, still looking at the design. Here's a technical thing. All your page template graphics must be loaded from the same files throughout the site as to speed up the process. Now, what does that mean? If you're not technically minded, the best way to explain it is that your website directory tree, the folders and everything that's on your website server where your site is hosted, it's like a big bookshelf. Let's put it that way. It's like a big bookshelf. Your main page, what's often called index.html or HTML, is the very first thing. It's the top shelf. First thing you see, top shelf, bang, there it is. Let's say that you then click to information, and the link might be yourdomainname.com/information/index.html. I'm sure you've seen these kinds of page name extensions in through your travels throughout the internet. Well, that second index page, /information/index.html is called a subdirectory. Let's call that the second shelf. Now, a number of times, if your webmaster, depending on the program that they're using to build your site, sometimes these programs will just create, duplicate images and add them into that subdirectory, that second shelf as well, which means you arrive on the main page and everything loads up. But you click through to information, it's going down to a subdirectory, /information/index.html. And it has to load all of the image files again. Now, to me, that's just madness because there's a time thing. And remember, 10 seconds, 8.5 on a slow dial-up connection. Time is one of the critical areas of internet, this fast internet age that we're working in, where everything is readily accessible with a click of a button unless it takes time to download. I'm still waiting. Oh, there it is. Hello. You get the point? I know you do. Number 5 here is the content-based pages. Always make sure that you have lots of rich content on your page. And I'm not talking a technical thing here. I'm talking lots of words, articles, hints, tips, tools, reference material that people can come to your website and read about. Give them a reason to come back. Please make sure that every single one of these pages has a link back to your order, your contact, and your home.